Hey, what's up, everyone? I am looking darker than a raisin. Melanie is peeling like a snake, and we left the year of the snake behind. Welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. I am Charlie, and that's my best girlfriend, Melanie.
Hello.
And listen, y'all, bear with us because I'm not coming from my usual sat home. I'm stuck. I am and not stuck like Cardi B going up. I'm stuck down here in El Salvador. As we know, if y'all been living under a rock, New York, the states got slammed with a blizzard. The East Coast, that's including New York, we got the most snow since 2016, on top of what we already had a few weeks ago. How many inches we got over there?
Roughly around 20 to 23 inches of snow, and it depends. It differs by area.
So, yeah, by area, and then we know from what I was trying to understand, sometimes with the wind gusts and stuff, that's why you see some parts higher and more stacked up because of that. So
yeah, I think some places in New Jersey and Long Island got 30 inches of snow. I heard just in time. I literally flew back on Friday night, just in time before everything transpired, and I was in Colombia. I'm I knew that it was gonna be bad. I didn't know it was gonna be this bad, and it is so fucking cold. It is really cold outside. The wind chill is crazy.
Well, for me, I didn't know it was going to be that crazy, but then as the weekend got closer, I think Friday, Saturday came, it started picking up, and and me seeing all the posts. And then by Saturday, I was I have a feeling this is not going to be good. I feel our flight's going to get canceled. And we didn't hear nothing till that morning, Sunday, that our flight got canceled. Yeah, and not only that, but then that there was no available flights till X amount of days later. We was hoping Monday. We was trying to see anything sooner, even sooner, during the day, Sunday. We was trying to find all our options, and nothing. Literally on customer service AI, that bullshit for hours to no avail, only a $30 credit. Nothing. And also, thankfully, we're a little more prepared here, but when things like this happen, they're not putting you up in a, hotel or anything. So that's extra cost on us people that are stuck in these situations. So listen, nonetheless, I'm thankful that it all worked out and we could pivot. That's my favorite word this year, pivoting, because we continue pivoting. And here we are. But I also laugh because you make plans. What is it? You make plans and God laughs. And I just think it's funny how I was told by the people that be, that I should take a vacation during winter break. And I took my vacation during winter break. And Mother Nature and God still decided to give me an extra week off.
Yeah.
And when you have the time, receipt, proof, and timeline, can't really do nothing to me. Thank you, Union. But with that being said, I'm stuck down here. It's been great. We're going to get more into our respective trips next week's episode. We have not missed a beat since we started this podcast in 2020. And I thought this would be the week that we miss it. But nonetheless, we are committed. We are committed, people. That doesn't tell you about some of our characters, that we are committed. Okay, but how was your trip? I want to know a little bit about your trip. I know when we were gonna have Johanny on. We want to have Johanny on next week's episode, so we all took trips. You to Colombia, Johanny to Puerto Rico, to El Salvador. But how was your trip? How was celebrating your birthday down there? How was it?
My trip was great. I felt like I needed that trip for many reasons. There were some, I'm going to go into it more in depth next week, but I feel like you have realizations when you travel. and when you're put in a different situation, and when you're also put in places with other people. But long story short, my trip was great. I had a great time for my birthday. I met some people that I consider to be travel buddies for the future, and Colombia was great. The resort was amazing. It was very nice. It was a little small, like not what I'm used to, but at the end of the day, it was very beautiful. The people were amazing. The only thing I will say, the food was it was kind of mid. I would give out of a 10, I would say the food was a 6 out of 10. It wasn't that great. But all in all, I had a great time. I'm just glad I wasn't here. I'm glad that I got some color. I'm glad that I was away for a little bit and got to go to a whole different country. And I do want to go back, but probably with a different set of people.
Yeah, as you can see, we need all the lights we can to try to see me over here because your boy has gotten darker too. Yeah. Thank God, even with the sunblock, please.
I exfoliated as much as I could just for me to like not look so scale.
Yeah, you were peeling. She sent a picture, and my face was the meme, the emoji. That was like, that was my face. My first reaction when I seen your snake peeling forehead. It looked like she got burned, y'all. Like I was like, oh, like I was shocked.
I literally put on like lighter concealer because under all this makeup, it's still like red, like it's raw.
And that's what I said too. I'm like, girls are lucky. I could like at least put on makeup to cover the peeling and all that when you start peeling. I hope I don't peel, but I also feel like as soon as I go back to New York, freaking the cold's gonna smack the tan out of me. So. Yes. You know, but one thing that I'll get more in depth, in my time and my trip here, because I still have some more time here, next week's episode. But one thing that is going on that everyone's talking about it is the Netflix documentary.
Reality.
What is it exactly? Because there's a certain title to it. Reality Check America's Next Top Model. Yes. So basically going into America's Next Top Model, which surprisingly Tyra Banks took place in this documentary as well. We could go more in depth, I guess, next week as well about this because there's so much to say and I've seen different podcasts and a lot of different perspective. I love to read the comments online and people have what they have to say. What was your thoughts? Because you caught it on the plane and it's funny enough, I caught it on the plane that morning, coming down here that Tuesday because it dropped last Tuesday. And I watched all 3 episodes.
I think Tyra Banks thought that she was going to be able to speak her truth and she was going to do damage control. No, girl, you got played. They basically exposed all the bad shit and like you took no accountability at all. I feel bad for the Jays. I didn't even know that Miss J had a stroke. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, neither did I.
Seeing Nigel Barker back, it was really nice. I feel like they missed the mark, or maybe they should have like a part 2 where they have other models that were affected even more. And also they should bring some of the judges back, like Janice Dickinson.
Well, about that, there's actually another documentary coming out from other people's side. I think it's more of the salacious stuff we're gonna hear on E. Yeah. They have an episode and it's coming, and Janice Dickinson is a part of that, along with some other models that were, maybe we did not see in this one. So that's going to be interesting. I think this conversation behind America's Next Top Model is not going to stop anytime soon. As far as the documentary itself, there were some things that, yes, looking back, that I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember when they made them change ethnicities and we were painting a white chick in blackface, where then years went by, we see certain celebrities doing blackface, but then they were it was a scandal, salacious, or even canceled, but we were doing it on America's Next Top Model. That was just one thing of like, yeah, that wasn't a thing. Or even some of the photo shoots that, like, I guess what a cancer patient looked like and stuff. Also, the photo shoot with Kenya, I do remember that episode where she did express the dancer being a little too close. But this documentary went a little further and it was like, oh, she was like sexually assaulted by this dude. And she did feel uncomfortable. And she did. I do remember her expressing it, but it wasn't touched on as much. You know what I'm saying? And that itself, then what happened to Shandy? I remember Shandy and I remember that too, and her crying because I thought, oh, I cheated on my boyfriend. But again, this goes more in depth where it's like, no, this girl was passed out drunk and basically, in a sense, sexually assaulted, taken advantage of, and the producers nothing to stop it. And Tyra, listen, I growing up was a big Tyra Banks fan. Like I remember her from the black and white Michael Jackson video, being one of the only top black models back then, besides Naomi Campbell as well, who was also in a Michael Jackson video. Keep it in the closet. Keep it in the closet. But so those were the models that I was exposed to as a kid, and specifically Tyra Banks, because the media or in the way it was painted, Naomi was the mean one, and Tyra just presented herself to be the nice one. But wow, time and perspective.
Yeah, you know what I kept thinking during the documentary? I was like, no wonder Naomi like treated you like shit.
Listen, I was a big Tyra fan, and I still like Tyra Banks. I still like Tyra Banks, and you can't deny what she's done. She's a beautiful woman. She did her thing in her modeling career. I still like Tyra, but watching this documentary about accountability, you know what I'm saying? Like, no accountability. And I really don't like people that don't take accountability and can't say sorry. You know what I'm saying? And even with the Jade thing, she didn't want to speak about that. For me, it's just the lack of accountability that was taken.
For me, it was more so that she pretended to not know a lot and like not remember. You should have done your research, girl. You had a resurgence in 2020 when everyone was watching during COVID, but also you were an executive producer. A lot of things did not get greenlit without your approval. So I feel like pretending is bullshit.
And the internet themselves are detectives, Melanie, because in the documentary she says she wasn't the editor, right? She didn't the Shandy thing, right? She tried to sweep it under the rug. Oh, I was just executive producer. I don't do that. Let's go to our internet sleuths. I'm sure you can find it. If I can find it, I'm gonna send it to you. Someone posted. Remember, Tyra Banks had a talk show, right? She had a few models there that, from past seasons, Shandy being one of them, and gleefully Tyra saying how that scene in particular, when she gets drunk and all that, and then the aftermath of what happens with her boyfriend, that she couldn't stop watching, that she watched it and edited and this and that. But I thought you didn't edit, baby girl. You got caught out there. So that's just one of the many lies already being pointed out. Like, girl, you're saying you had no control over this, but in the same breath, years ago, you said this. So it does not look good for Tyra Banks. And then the fact that she announces that she's bringing self-promotion, like craziness. Oh, we're bringing it back cycle 25. It's like, read the room, girl, read the room. But she, like you said, I think she thought this was more like damage control and also promotion, like, oh, we're bringing it back. I don't think she expected this to go the way. Well, and I'm surprised she even took this.
If you think about it, the way that they had the documentary displayed, everyone is having their individual interviews. She's not with the other people, so she doesn't know what they're saying. So it's like a push and pull. She's talking about the good parts and like the parts that she remember and like the success of it all, while everyone else is talking about the trauma, the mental health issues that they had, like all the bad things. So she's oblivious, obviously, but like at the end of the day, I don't know, if she doesn't like do some damage control and come out and say like, I've read and seen the documentary and I read all your comments and I want to take, I want to take the time to address some things, and I guess I was very naive to the situation, but at the end of the day, even if she was naive, it doesn't read well. She needs to like read the room and actually be real. The one thing that I thought was crazy, I never understood why, because I stopped watching after a couple cycles. But when she fired the Jays and Nigel Barker, the way that it was done was kind of fucked up. I don't know. I think it's crazy, but I don't see
Well, she claims
being successful. Like their time is done.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how, especially with the scandal and the things that happened in the past. How would it be any different now?
Yeah.
And I think it will kind of be a joke in a sense, bringing it back, because then we're gonna see it forcefully trying to be different and more progressive today, in a sense. And I don't know. I also forgot that she herself was let go
she was fired
the final season. I forgot because I stopped watching myself at that point. And Rita Ora was the host. I forgot about that for the last 2 seasons, but at that point I wasn't watching anymore. So yeah, all in all, like, I'm sure we're gonna hear much more about this. The Jays and Nigel on a press tour as well. They've been on Sherry, they've been on in interviews, and to this day they say, Ms. J says that Tyra hasn't reached out, but Team Tyra, I report yesterday, reached out to Perez Hilton, and her team said that Tyra did try to reach out. At that point, Ms. J's niece was taking care of everything, health-wise and making decisions. And long story short, that it was Ms. J's niece that kind of cut any communication in her attempt to communicate in any way with him. So that's what I know you're saying, for her to come out and have accountability, but she's not, because look at her. Now her reps are trying to say, well, she tried to, but the niece. Now we're putting it underneath of blocking the communication. So I don't know. It doesn't look good for Miss Banks. It really doesn't. But yeah, it really doesn't. But
like Australia.
Oh yeah, does she still live in Australia?
Yeah.
And she has a kid. I forgot she has a son too. But all in all, we'll see where this goes. I'm very curious to see this documentary when it drops. It's definitely going to be interesting. And then we're going to see Janice Dickinson, her side. I didn't know how, even during the show, they were going at it. You've seen it on the panel, but like behind the scenes, how they did not like each other either. Janice and Tyra, like craziness. Crazy.
Janice
but all in all, who, you and Janice Dickinson?
Mm-hmm.
Janice Dickinson is an Aquarius? Oh, wow. I never looked up her sign, funny enough.
I did.
I never looked up her sign. I know Miss J's, no, not Miss J. J Manuel is a Leo.
Yeah.
All those fillers. Those cheeks, honey. You think he looks good?
I do.
And with Botox and fillers, like, yeah, of course that face is looking smooth like a snail, but I don't know. Those fillers are too much. It's too high. Like, oh no. It's crazy because back then I think he was like Puerto Rican or something, especially the name J Manuel. I thought, but he's South African, South African. Yeah. So, but all in all, next week, I'm sure we'll touch on it a little more and, get Johanny's perspective and what he thought. We wanted to jump on and touch on ourselves a little bit because it's everywhere, and check in with you guys. No, we're not covered under snow. We wanted to bring you a little show, but thank you guys so much for this. It was a short, sweet, and simple episode. Next week, we'll be back with much, much more, and I'll be back in my original set, and you'll see me in better color light. Thank you guys. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff, and we will see you guys next week. Adios.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle Podcast. You catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.